All right, let's get into my notes. Let's talk about this Michael Sussman character. All right, I just find it so funny that his name is Michael, just like the Breaking Bad. Remember Breaking Bad? Y'all seen Breaking Bad. Y'all seen Better Call Saul. Y'all seen Mike, just like my name, Mike. And this is how this all intertwines. Okay, you get rid of a bag man like Mike, and you just get another one. In Breaking Bad, they just brought the twins. You need Tuco and his cousins. It doesn't matter. You just, because that is what Michael Sussman is. The bag man. Do we want the bag man or do we want the real man? Ask yourself that question, okay? As this investigation, which, by the way, I thought got hijacked by Q, I didn't even think Durham was real. I saw photos of him. Now I see him moving around, getting in SUVs or whatever. I didn't even think it was real like a year ago. But he's real and he's moving along. And with that being said, he's moving the prosecution. Okay? And this, I said it's a nothing burger. No, because Sussman is a nothing burger. He's nothing. He's Mike. He's the bag man. He's nobody. But they kept moving forward. Durham keeps moving forward. All right? And now he has entered evidence into the courts. And it's crazy. It's crazy because we're starting to see that Washington is rigged. We're starting to look at it 20, 30, 40 years from now when they look back and they'll be like, wow, this wasn't a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy theory come true. And they're like, the courts were in on it, the medical industry. And now you're going to start to see when I told you I was on a street level and I started to see the street level. The homeless people were in on it. It's so massive. And I'm recording this, and I think 100 years from now, you're going to see it. That they paid homeless people to move them around. And you're going to see it because I looked them in the eyes. This is why I would say I looked them in the eyes and I saw it. And they get very, very upset. But with that being said, let's get back to my points. That's why I got to have my little paper here. Because I don't want to get too distracted about all the other stuff. The ways they tried to distract me while I was out there, right? So let's talk about it. We could tell you the system is corrupt, but you won't believe it. I could tell you all kinds of which ways. Alex Jones, David Ikes, all we could tell you, but you have to see it for yourself. And that's where we're in the process right now, right? Because I'm just going to sound like it's a conspiracy theory. You'd be like, it's a conspiracy. I think the main process of Durham's case right now with Sussman was to just enter evidence into the courts, accept it. I think he had 17 persons under oath in the court. He basically said subpoenaed 17 people and they had to come in. So he has their story on the record. You know, that was the thing that we need to look back on, all right? Because in 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, we're going to see the corruption in Washington and see exactly how it played out. It's happening, right? Did you guys know? You didn't. Dude, you know how you get like when you go to the mail and they're like, hey, yo, we sent you a paper in the mail and you got to do jury duty, right? 3 people in the state, talk about striking lightning twice. They struck lightning 3 times. 3 of the jurors that showed up and got envelopes in their mailbox. Remember that. You know how you get an envelope in your mailbox? You're like, oh my God, I got to go to jury duty. 3 of them in Washington, D.C., not Washington State, Washington, D.C., got envelopes and were like, oh, guess what? We got to go to Hillary Clinton's thing. And 3 of them donated money to her campaign. Can you imagine that? Yeah, talk about lightning striking thrice. Tiempos. 3 times, man. And that's what happened. And then the judge just allowed it. So for future generations, yeah, It's 2022, and the judge allowed it, knowing that they probably put mucho dinero in the bank account of Hillary Clinton. And here's the thing about Michael Sussmann. He was the campaign lawyer for Hillary Clinton, accused of lying to the FBI. The same thing Michael Flynn was accused of and went to jail. He had to be exonerated or whatever. He got released later. He did nothing wrong. You can look at it. Look at the evidence of Sussman and look at the evidence of Flynn. It's disgusting. But with that being said, Durham, who I thought was like this Q conspiracy guy, now you're starting to see how they took Q and ran him over the Buffalo Stampede. They just like had a stampede of buffaloes. They got him geared up and they just ran over the edge. Because I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going there. But you can start to see how they used Flynn and Sussman. Just look at it in the future. Now you're in the future. Like I'm imagining myself right now, like 100 years in the future, and you can see the Michael Flynn, who was under Trump, and you can look at Sussman, who went to jail and who got off. With all the evidence. With that being said, Durham entered all the evidence into the courts. And let's look at it in 20, 30, 40 years from now. See, they're looking at the right now. They're looking at 2022. I'm looking in the future, and that's what I always do. And this is why I read the tarot. Because, ladies and gentlemen, and I've said this, if I can look ahead, they can too. All right? I'm sorry they demonized the tarot and the Baphomet, Elvis Levy, and I talk about it, but they did. Because if I can look ahead, they can too. Prepare yourselves. All right? I'll talk at you later, Holmes. Peace out.